Amber, and I currently live in Japan teaching English. And earlier this month, I celebrated my 1-year anniversary in Japan. I came here October the 1st of 2015. Now, I have done many things in this past year. I've traveled both within Japan as well as to other countries in Asia, and I have really had a great experience. I highly recommend, if you're considering teaching English in a foreign country, I can't recommend it enough. With that being said, I remember before I came to Japan just being so nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to bring. I didn't know the language, and I really didn't know much about the culture either. So I really found YouTube to be very helpful in answering some of my questions. Definitely not all. But I don't think that you need every question answered. Half the fun is experiencing it and finding the answers for yourself. So I hope to share with you, YouTube, family, friends back home, some of the things that I've experienced in Japan, and also a little bit about my life now, and any advice that I would give someone that, is on the same journey as me or is considering the same journey as me, because I think we all need to help each other when it comes to moving to another country where you don't know anyone or anything. So we're in this together. And today I wanted to talk about 5 things that I miss about America. Of course, I miss way more than 5 things, and I'm not going to include the fact that I miss my friends and family. That goes without saying, but as far as just daily life tasks or daily life foods or experiences, coming from America to Japan, this is what I miss. Number 1, I miss apartment sizes in America. I think it's no secret, Japan is a small country, and with it comes small apartments. And of course I've gotten used to living in a small apartment, but when I first got to Japan and I saw my apartment size, I was baffled. I thought I would never be able to live in such a small apartment. The bathroom is about the size of a bathroom you would find in an airplane. Behind me is a ladder for the loft, which I don't sleep in, but I'm supposed to sleep and we kind of use it for storage. But the kitchen is behind me. It's only a sink, and we have things on the wall because we have to utilize wall space, and out of camera shot is the oven, stove, no oven, to my left. So it's very tiny. I have no counters, nothing. So it took some getting used to, but eventually I realized that in America we have a lot of things that we don't need or that we don't use, and I was definitely one of those people that had an apartment just filled with junk, and I realized that when I had to make the big move here. So I've definitely gotten used to the smaller size, but I could go for, a little bit more room, if you know what I mean. Number 2, I really miss food in America. Not so much American food. I don't even know what American food really means, but I miss the availability of Mexican food, Cuban food. We have a lot of other cultures' food that we've catered to meet what we like to eat as Americans, our taste buds. Now when you come to another country, they will do the same that we do in America. They'll take the food from Italy or from Mexico or wherever, and they'll morph it to cater to their taste buds. So for me, if I go to a Mexican restaurant in Japan, it's just not the same. I miss just the big old delicious margaritas that are, half off for happy hour. I miss Dollar Taco Tuesdays and my local, Mexican restaurant joint, like things like that. It's just, it doesn't happen here. Mexican food is expensive. Italian food is expensive. I think Domino's is like $20 for a large pizza. Actually probably more than that. I think you need a coupon to get a $20 pizza at Domino's, and the large is not the same size as in America. So yeah, I definitely miss my kind of idea of Mexican, Italian, all the foods that we love to eat in America. Now that takes me to number 3. I also miss fruit. In Japan, fruit is so expensive and I don't know why. I went to the supermarket recently and I saw half of a pineapple cut in half, and it was on sale for $3. Everything is so expensive here. You can see watermelons for, you know, $20, $30, $40, $50 sometimes. Like, it gets really expensive, the fruit here. I will say, if you eat in season, it's not as expensive, but compared to America, our fruit is a lot cheaper. Currently, I have on my counter persimmons and Japanese, Asian style pears. So those are reasonable right now because it is autumn. So in the autumn season, those are the fruits that we have in the supermarket. But if you are craving, like I said, a pineapple or watermelon or something, just forget it because you're gonna spend half of your month's salary on it. Okay, now this next one, number 4. I didn't think I would ever say this, but I miss driving, which I didn't really love driving in America. It was a bit of a tedious task. You know, every day you're stuck in traffic during rush hour and you have to drive everywhere, and the gas and the insurance, da-da-da. But when you don't have a car anymore, it really makes you miss it. I live in the city. Well, I live a little outside of the city, but everyone takes the train. That's our main form of commute. And it's sometimes you just want to get in your car and drive, you know? So I definitely miss driving some days. It's funny, whenever I meet a new student at work, I'll ask, what is your hobby, when, you know, we're starting to get to know each other. And I used to be so surprised when someone would say their hobby is driving on the weekends. I thought, why would you have that as a hobby? But now I understand, when you don't get the opportunity to just go wherever you want, whenever you want to, you have to wait for the trains, and it gets a bit daunting, to say the least. And number 5, I miss how outgoing we are. Americans, we talk to anyone that will listen. We talk to people in the restaurants, we talk to people that work at the hotel, front desk, we talk to people in the elevator. We're always talking to anyone that will listen to us. And yes, it was annoying sometimes when I lived in America, but in Japan, that's considered rude. They don't talk on the train, and they don't talk in the elevator, or they don't talk to strangers. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of difficult to meet people in Japan as a foreigner because they're a bit nervous to talk to you. They know that they'll have to use English more than likely if you don't know Japanese, which I don't. So they're a bit nervous to talk to you, and yeah, you just kind of miss that connection that you get when you just talk to someone. Even small talk about the weather. I just miss how outgoing and friendly we are. Japanese people are friendly, but they're so shy and nervous that I miss it so much. So those are my 5 things that I miss about America. Let me know, if you live in another country other than your home country, what do you miss? And what would you like me to talk about in the future on this channel? Let me know, and thanks so much for stopping by. Peace.